Hi, it's Jen. Today I wanted to share with you a mini file folders that I made for my junk journals. And you can buy dies for these or thinlits, but I didn't want to make the investment, and just because I didn't know how often I would use them. So I came up with a measurement using my envelope punch board. So if you have one, you can join me in making some. So the first thing you need to do is cut your paper at 5 1/4 by 3 1/2. I prefer to use cardstock, but that's totally up to you. I just find the cardstock a little bit sturdier. And then what you need to do is score your paper on the horizontally, the 5 1/4 measurement. Score it at 2 3/4. And once you have that scored, now we could get our punch board out. The first thing you need to think of is what side do you want to be the front? So what I mean by that is this front flap is going to be seen. So if you prefer this side of your paper, you want to start with the opposite side. So I want this to be the front of my paper. So I'm going to start with this side. I didn't take the T die that well. And this side should be, your measurement should be 2 3/4 by 2 1/2. And the first side, the 2 3/4, that's going to be the side we're going to punch first, because that side is considered the back of your file folder, this right here. So we're going to punch the back of our file folder first for the tab. So you want to place it into your punch board, and you want to go up to 1 3/4. So punch it at 1 3/4. And then what I do right away after I punch, this corner right here, I put in the corner rounder in the punch board. I do that just so that way I don't get too confused. So that way I can see, okay, that's going to be my tab, and then that's the part that I'm going to trim. And then what we're going to do, you're going to flip your paper right over. So now we're on the right side of the front. So you're going to, it's the same side as we just made our tab. You're going to place your paper into your punch board, and we're going to go to 1 5/8 and punch that. And then we're done with the punch board. And then what you're going to need to do is get your trimmer out. Now I have this Fiskars trimmer. And the first thing I'm going to do is trim the, this is my tab, because we know that because we rounded the corner. So now I'm going to cut this part off. Now you want it here's the punch out, and then you want to measure your blade at the very bottom of this punch out straight across to the other side. That's one of the reasons why I like this Fiskars, because of the, you can see the wire where it's going to be cutting. And 9 times out of 10 I get it right. Sometimes I don't, but... And there we go. And then that's the back of our file folder. Now what we're going to do is we're going to flip our file folder over, and this part right here, here's our tab up at the top here. On this side, we're going to cut out this one, the shorter piece. We're going to put that in our trimmer. I'm going to line it up. Alright, and there we go. And then now it's time to get your bone folder out, and we're going to crease it now. Alright, we have one more cut to do, and before I do that, I wanted to just ink on the back here so you can see. So my file folder is completely closed here. Well, the front of the file folder on the right hand side, it's a little taller than the back. So what we're going to do, do you see how I inked it right here? And we have this about an 1/8 inch piece here. We're going to trim that right off. So I keep my file folder closed for this. So that way I have a guide, and then I just put it in my trimmer. And there I go. And put it around to the front, and we're done. And then at this time I do, I like to ink all my file folders, especially the white ones that I do. To me, it just adds a little bit more to the file folder. And then that's all that there is to making the base of the file folder. And then I do ink on the inside as well, just because I do put paper on the inside of it as well. And so I like it to look just as good on the inside as the outside. Now I was going to show you your tabs at the front. You can do it in a different way as well. That's totally up to you, and I will show you really after I get this done. I myself prefer the rounded edge right here, but I have one here to show you. This right here, what I did is I got my envelope punch board, and right on the edge right here, I just put my paper in at the very edge of the blade. I punched, so that way the left side had the same shape as the right side. And it doesn't look bad. I just prefer, for me, the rounded. And again, it's just what your preference is. And then you can decorate it any way that you like. And right now I'm just making journals right now that I'm using those. But I'm going to give you, down below, I will mention the size of this paper. I'll write that down below for you. And all the measurements for this I will be writing down below for you. And that's all I wanted to show you today. If you have an envelope punch board, you can make yourself a mini file folder ephemera to put in our junk journals. This one, I didn't put anything in yet. But this one, what I did is I put a piece of tea-dyed recipe card. And I really enjoy using these in my own journals, and it helps, it gives something else to interact with in your journals. So I hope you enjoyed that video today, and till next time, don't throw away your junk. Let's craft with it or journal with it. Take care. Bye.